you are listening to the Girl Talk podcast. My name is Carol.
Hey, I'm Tricia.
And I'm Kelly.
Kelly, the new kid on the block. We are so thankful to have her join the team, but you may not know a lot about Kelly Brandon. And so we're gonna learn about Kelly today.
Yay!
It's all about KB, Kelly Brandon. So we're gonna get the ball rolling with what is your perfect day. If you came into work and they said, not today, you're not working today. You've got an entire day to spend any way you'd like, and money's no object, place in the world is no object. What do you do? What's it look like for Kelly?
That is a great question. So it starts with a really, really good cup of coffee.
Okay.
I mean, that kind of
I'm with
coffee
you.
that you're like, okay, this
Dreamy.
makes my life different. And then, so I'm
How do
probably,
you take your coffee? I want to know.
Okay.
Because I
Depends.
think we learn a lot about someone that way.
Yeah.
it depends on if it's really good coffee. If it's really good
Okay.
coffee, I want it black.
Okay.
I want
Wow.
to taste all the flavor. I don't want to
Really?
water it down with any of that sweet creamer stuff. But if it's
Okay.
bad coffee,
Then
I'm putting
more
all
creamer.
the creamer in.
Okay, but are you one of those people that goes, oh, that's like a hint of cinnamon with a little hazelnut
Yeah.
or something like that? Like people taste flavors like that, and I'm like, I get.
No, but
I
I do
get
like
battery
flavored
acid.
coffee.
Okay.
There's this one coffee place I go to that has this thing called Jingle Bell Java.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it will change your life. It's
Okay.
got a little hint of coconut in it.
Okay.
The coffee, you're getting coconut out of just the coffee?
Oh yeah, it's
We
good
gotta-
though. But I'm not, I'm not weird like that.
Did you say? I mean, I got tickled because you said battery acid.
It
didn't you?
tastes like battery acid.
Coffee does?
Well, black coffee does. I want it to not taste like coffee.
Oh, you
That's
haven't
the
had
perfect
good
coffee.
black coffee.
I
Then.
guess I
That is
haven't.
That's the
true.
problem.
Yeah, I've been
That's the
going
problem.
to
So-
the oil change place.
Right.
I need to try something else. Try something new.
Did they serve coffee there?
Probably in those styrofoam cups.
Yeah,
It just
like
they
sludge.
pour it in and you did the styrofoam just melts.
Yes, yeah, gross. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Life is too short to drink bad coffee. So that's my perfect day. We're starting with a cup
Okay.
of coffee. We're
All
going
right.
to sit on the back porch somewhere, maybe in the woods.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with this teleportation thing that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about last
Yeah,
time
yeah,
with
no
Tricia.
problem.
Okay.
And I'm going to teleport myself all the way to the beach.
Oh,
And I'm going to sit in a chair at the beach
Yes.
and in the sunshine, not for too long because I have fair skin and I burn really easily. But
Maybe get you an umbrella that day.
maybe an
if
umbrella.
we can
but
get
also
you
just
there
let
with
that
no
sun-
movement, we can also make sure you don't burn.
Okay.
That's a good
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
If-
All right.
If we've created teleportation, we can create really good sunblock.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I think it's probably going to end. Oh, no, wait. If this is money, no object.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a massage in one of those huts on the beach.
Oh, the massage hut.
Perfect.
Yes, a massage
Yes.
hut. Okay, but that costs a lot of money. So we're going with the
Perfect
perfect
day.
dream.
Yep.
And then it's going to end with board games. Board
I
games.
didn't see that coming.
That's right after the massage.
Wow.
Right after the
Okay, I'm
massage,
getting tense
We're
again.
going to have board
Monopoly.
games and
Okay.
fun.
Oh,
and I'm going
what?
to spend time with my family.
What's your favorite board game?
Well, that's a good question. Probably there's this one called Imagine If, which you get to make fun of all your friends, and I love that. 'cause that's
Why did she
always fun
point at
to
us
play.
when she said that?
Right.
Did
All
you
your
see it?
friends.
All
Every
your
single
friends.
one of
We
them.
could say, imagine if Tricia was a car. What kind of car would Tricia be?
Oh,
She
boy.
would totally
And then
be
you
a VW bug.
right.
Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Did it the top down.
It'd
Yeah,
be filled with
absolutely.
stuff, and it takes her places, right? And we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did.
That's cool, Kelly. So you love board games that
Love
much,
it.
and you love
Love
doing
it.
it with your family, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, especially
Yes.
with my mama. So my mama's going to be with me.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm just
board
thinking, my
games.
family sits down around a board game, the police are going to get called. That's all there is to it.
That's why you got to be selective in who you let play board games with you. This is
That's
your
right.
perfect day.
It's
We're not going to jail
There's
on our
no
perfect
fighting,
day.
and no jailing, and no bail.
No
Okay.
police.
No
on your
bail on the perfect day.
No.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
I mean, but again, teleportation has to exist, so let's work on that.
Okay.
Sunscreen.
And really
And
good
sunscreen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, next question. What is your most prized possession? Your most prized possession?
You know, if you were to ask my son,
Yeah.
he would say this phone is my most prized possession because I seem to spend so much time on it. But
Yeah.
if you really want to hear my honest answer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of weird, but I really love to hang on to all of those photos and videos from my kid when he was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
But I have this thing. So when my son was little, he had a flat head.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to wear one of those football helmets.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually had to wear two of those football helmets. Well, when they take you in to have that football helmet mold made for your head, they make a mold of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have two molds of
Oh.
my kid's head when he was 6 months old and then again when he was a year old. And those are my prized possessions.
Really?
Because I can put my hand on the back of my child's head when he was 6 months old.
Oh, that's precious.
That is precious.
Yeah. So one of these days I'll show you the molds of my kid's head. It's a head on a stick. It looks really weird. Anyway, that's a fun little mold
wish
of a head.
I had not volunteered to go last in this process because I'm feeling really shallow at this point. I know what my answers are.
That's a good one.
That is a
That's
good one.
good
Very
one.
good one. Okay. All right. Next question. What's the food that you can't turn down? Like if somebody sits in front of you and like you've already eaten, you're like, I still got to go for it.
Can we guess first?
Yeah.
Let's guess. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna guess like a home cooked delicious like meal from maybe like the Instapot or the crock pot or something that's delicious and
Nope.
I'm going to guess pad thai.
Ooh, you're much closer.
Oh.
So what I want is a fun foodie experience. And I got really interested in food because my husband and I, before we were husband and wife, we spent 2 months in China when we were in college. And
you did? How interesting.
they have weird stuff in China.
Yeah.
To eat. Like dog. We went and ate puppy dog for dinner twice. And
I forgive
Did you
you.
know it?
I forgive
oh,
you.
yes, we did it on purpose.
You
We did
ordered it?
We ordered. We went to a restaurant
have-
that only served dog.
I'd like to
Because-
have beagle with a side of.
I think
Snoodle.
I'm going to go with it was a Great Dane.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Oh.
it was nasty. Don't get me wrong. It was really nasty.
And you
but
ordered it twice?
we ordered it twice. Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, when in China do as Chinese do, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know,
Okay.
but
All right.
it was not very good, but it was an experience. So for me,
Oh, you love
food
adventure.
is adventurous
Yeah.
and it's an experience, and I really like Asian food especially. And
Okay.
there was a lot of really, really good food in China, but there were some things that were not so good. So anyway, my best food, if somebody's going to say, hey, try this, you've never had this before,
Right.
then it doesn't matter if I'm full, I'm going to still try it.
Okay.
Wow. Do you ever watch those cooking shows?
Oh, yes.
And
oh,
do you
yes.
love cooking
Yes.
shows like those competitions? and
Well,
things?
especially the ones where they're like doing street food on the streets and especially in Asia where they've got these like big walks and they're, you've got even
Walk
4-year-olds
things.
doing. Yeah, I'm not really sure I'm into insects, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm not
But
opposed to
you
it.
wouldn't turn it down if
I
you didn't
would
turn down
not
Snoopy.
turn it down.
Wow,
It
that's
would
so
take
cool.
a lot, but I would probably do it. So anyway,
That's going to come up in a girl talk trivia game one time. Which girl talk personality is eating dog? Twice.
twice, not once.
Now you'll know because you listen to this podcast.
That's right.
Right? Okay. So that's,
Interesting. That's so cool. I love this because we're learning so many interesting things about you.
I know, right?
I really also like ice cream, so
Yeah.
it's a little more vanilla.
That's an easier sell than
Yeah.
dogs, I
Right.
think. But
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to try to get this in between the white lines again. What is your biggest struggle? Dun, dun. It's hard to go from like, what food can't you turn down to, okay, now what's your biggest struggle?
What's your biggest struggle? So one thing to know about me is that I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Actually, I wear them on my face. I wear them actually in my eyeballs. So I can cry at the drop of a hat.
I love that.
Somebody
about you,
can
though.
watch I can watch a commercial about
Yeah,
something
I love
and
that.
I can cry. You can start asking me questions about my son and about all of the things like that. And I mean, I could start crying just right now because it's always right here. And so for me, my biggest struggle is fear. It's fear of loneliness. It's fear of grief of things that haven't even happened yet, and that's part of the emotion. So I see a commercial of a family doing something with a small baby, and my heart breaks because I don't have a small baby anymore. And I start to remember, I'm only 5 years away from my son moving out of my house, and all of a sudden the tears just come. So, my struggle is the grief of losing the things I haven't even lost yet, and dealing with that, because sometimes it has me make poor decisions in life. I'm choosing things out of fear and not necessarily choosing things out of what's best. So anyway, fear. I mean, my struggle is fear. My struggle is grief. My struggle is getting inside my head and already missing things that I need to hold tight to now, but realizing that I'm going to lose them at some point in time.
is it like you struggle to be in the present because you're thinking about either the past or what's to come.
Yeah.
I get that.
And I fear no longer being cherished. Your parents and your kid cherish you in ways that nobody else does.
Yeah.
They cherish you in ways that your spouse never will cherish you, never can cherish you. They cherish you in ways that your friends can never cherish you. And so I struggle with that fear of no longer being cherished and loved in that kind of deep way that only a mama can or a daddy can or your 12-year-old son can love you.
Wow.
So that's a struggle.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's
And then the
not
tears
easy.
go.
Yeah. But I love that about you. I love that you have such a tender heart. Yeah.
And so, and you connect with people so
Yeah.
well. If I'm sad, then you're with me. It's
Right.
that empathy
Yeah.
that you have that's just a natural part of who you are
Thank you.
and how you love.
Yeah. So what part of your story, Kelly, was unexpected?
Oh, well, all of it.
I know, right?
All of it.
I know.
I grew up, I was telling somebody this the other day. I grew up wanting to control everything. I'm a type A personality. I have a plan. I've written down the plan. I wrote it on a piece of paper and I handed it to God and I said, hello, here is my plan for my life. You do what I've told you to do, please.
Take extra
Yes.
5 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
taking care of this.
Yeah,
Take care of all of
exactly.
it, right?
Take
You
a break.
Go, You go help Carol. Tricia.
That is so true. Go help Carol. No, go help Carol. Yeah.
So everything in my life really became unexpected.
Yeah.
Only having one kid, I wanted a gazillion kids.
Right.
I wanted to have a house full of love. At one point in time in my life, I wanted to run an orphanage because I had watched the Annie. I wanted to be Mrs. Hannigan, but I wanted to be the nice version of Mrs. Hannigan. Version. And I wanted to have a house full of kids that I could love on, that I could grow to love Jesus. And God gave me one. So that was so unexpected because I really, I have a real heart for children and a real, I want to be loved.
Yeah.
That's part of it. So, so that was a big unexpected thing for me. Another one is just this moment. This moment, sitting in this studio with you girls and having a microphone up against my cheek about, and not something I ever thought. There's so much baggage in my life. I thought God never would use me in ministry, that that we'd never get back to a place where I could be used in ministry. I wanted to when I was a kid. I wanted to go into the ministry. I always thought that ministry looked like standing behind a pulpit. And then I joined a church that doesn't allow women to stand behind a pulpit. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, God, what in the world? What in the world do women do in ministry?
Right.
And so, God, I can just see God laughing. He's like, I've got a plan for you and you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
So he sent me to seminary and I went to seminary and spent 3 years learning all about him. And then I got the great opportunity to sit around these microphones with you girls and be in this building with y'all and get to do ministry, life on life ministry. And
You bring such a depth.
Yeah.
Your background and that the studying and even what you've learned, it's just, you bring such a depth. So I'm so grateful.
thank you.
that
But
you're
it was
here.
so unexpected. It's not
Right.
that none of that was part of my 10-year plan that I had written down for God a few years ago and said, this is what we're going to do. But he's led me to fulfill so many of my wildest dreams.
Isn't that funny? How you think you have a way to get there, but he's got a completely different way.
Right.
But you still get there, but you get there in a different way with a different, maybe a different emphasis. And it's so cool. But he has brought you to ministry.
Right. Yeah.
But he brought
absolutely,
you
right
his
here.
way.
Yeah. He brought me his way.
Well, and I think it's too because you had a like a concentration in women's ministry.
I
too,
did, right, yeah,
That
yeah.
you just didn't know kind of what that was for. That's been so helpful
Right.
because there are times that I go and sit down and talk to Kelly, and I'm like, man, I just I feel like I learned something talking to you, and I feel like that background's so useful, and even what we do today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Was a whole lot of reading.
I'm not just saying it.
lot of-
I really mean it with my whole
well.
heart. I wish for a minute because I think the tendency is most people have a job they go to and like they get to work with what they deem okay people, but if you just had a minute to sit in this building, I mean, we have some incredible people on our team that I'm just like, I get to serve with them. You know, I get so excited about it. And the way God has brought all of us here is just such an amazing story of, like, if you, a couple of years ago, I mean, it's been years and years ago now, but our general manager at the time put a board up on, or put on a like a whiteboard, everybody's gifts and everybody's weakness. And it was amazing to see how God had brought where one person was strong and another person was weak. He brought another person in that same department. And it was just like a puzzle, putting together pieces of a puzzle. And I feel like he's done that for us because, you know, the weaknesses that I have, and I got a lot of them, you know, it takes several people to make up for my weaknesses. But we all come together and kind of form this this body of believers who has been called to do this each and every day. And I don't think, you know, I think when I talk about Tricia or when I talk about you, people are like, oh, well, they have to say that. No, I really don't. But I really do feel that way, you know, with all my heart about the people I work with. So I'm
you know, I look back too on my life and my experience that led me to this place at this time and think about all the different jobs I've had and all the things God's taught me to do. And he was just preparing me for this job in this place at this moment, giving me the things I would need, like the ability to recode a stinking database, which is not really a fun thing to do necessarily, but it's a skill that I've gotten, that I've attained over the last couple of years that was really needed here. And so,
because Carol and I aren't going to be.
We're not going to.
I don't know what you said.
Carol, will you code anything? Unless it's, you know, like I have the right color Sharpie markers, then I might be able to code something.
He said coat, like chocolate coating.
See, that's where we go. That's where both of us go. That's why we need you, Kelly.
Yes. And the heart for donors. You know, my job here obviously is donor ministries, and I get to lead our donor ministry team. But I have a unique perspective that I think a lot of even fundraisers in our community don't have, and that is that you have dreams to do things bigger than yourself. You know, and especially when you're in ministry, a donor to a ministry like the Light FM, you have dreams to be an evangelist. But maybe that's not how God has called you. Maybe that's not how God has equipped you. Maybe sharing the gospel absolutely makes you just panic. But there are great people who can share the gospel, who are equipped to share the gospel, who are equipped to go on a microphone and talk about Jesus. And donors get to come alongside us and support that in a way that God's gifted them to do it and fulfill dreams that they have to be an evangelist without necessarily having to be equipped in that area. So anyway, it's just such a privilege to get to be here doing donor ministry work with you gals, and
it's a privilege to have you.
Okay,
I've got the next question.
Okay, go.
All right. So what is God teaching you right now?
Great question. I think the thing he's teaching me the most right now is that people are going to fail you. And that you are going to fail other people. You know, we've been going through some stuff with my family over the last couple of years, and just come to realize that that you may look at people in your family and think they're perfect, but not everybody's perfect. And that there will come a time in your life where people will not live up to your expectations. And you can't look at other people and say, you are a substitution for God, for me.
So true.
Or you can't also look at yourself and say, I am a substitution for God for anybody else. God is the only person who will ever not fail us. At some point in time, everybody else is going to fail you. Everybody else is going to disappoint you. Everybody else is going to do something that makes you sad. And I mean, God may do things that make you sad, but that doesn't make him any less good. It doesn't make him any less faithful. It doesn't make him he's never going to abandon you. He's always going to be right there with you. And so for me, God's teaching me that he alone is God. I'm not God. My family's not God. None of the people in my life are God, except God is God.
And he's good at being God.
Absolutely. That's good stuff.
So good.
Yeah. That's great, Kelly.
What's one piece of wisdom that you've been given that you didn't realize at the time, but has been so true in your life?
Oh boy.
I love it.
Okay, so
I love it when she giggles.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
I was a 24-year-old girl. So picture me 20 years ago as a 24-year-old girl. They're working with this woman whose name was Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
She's 30. She's having her 30th birthday. So, as a 24-year-old girl, I just look up to this 30-year-old woman. She's so wise. She's got such wisdom. And
Right.
so I go to her and I say, what is one piece of advice that you would give me, who's not 30, on your 30th birthday? She looked at me with all seriousness and she said, invest in really good, high quality eye cream. And I did.
And you did. And you're
I
glad.
did, and
Right?
I'm glad.
You have fabulous looking
Yeah,
eyes.
Well,
your
thank
skin
you.
is
The
really
wrinkles are not near as pronounced as they could be at age 44. So,
love it.
anyway, thank you, Shannon. Should you happen to be a listener to the Girl Talk podcast, for giving me the advice of getting good, high quality eye cream.
What do you use?
Wrinkle-free.
I
Yeah.
gotta ask. I
Yeah.
gotta know because I'm looking.
Currently, I'm using something from Arbonne, some sort of
Okay.
wrinkle-free
stuff.
stuff. Yep, I was
That's
using
natural
something.
stuff. Arbonne?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It doesn't
Yeah,
have all
writing
those
it down.
chemicals in it that other things may have. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I pick a lot of different kinds of things.
Yeah.
Try to keep it high quality. But anyway, just good eye cream.
Yeah.
Get rid of those wrinkles and start at age 24 with your eye cream. So there's my
Just
advice
missed
for
it.
the day.
You can still start at 50, right?
Yes, it's
Just
never too
missed
late to
Yeah.
use good high quality eye cream.
There you go. That's worth the price of this podcast right there.
Amen.
Truth. We've loved getting to know you. And Kelly, we once again just want to say how honored we are that you joined on this crazy journey and got on the Carol Coaster and said, I'll come and be a part of this with us. We love you so much and are so glad.
Interesting,
Yeah.
too. You're
Yeah.
so fascinating.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, it's been fun to dig in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk away remembering that I've eaten dog.
You've eaten dog and you use good eye
I'm
cream.
thinking that. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
right.
We love you so much. And thank you for listening. We love you too. We love you being a part of the Girl Talk podcast. And hey, who knows? If you've got a question we didn't answer for one of the three of us during this time, you're always welcome to submit a question. Maybe we'll do another one of these hot seat Q&As sometimes coming to a
That'd be fun.
podcast near you. And we'll see you next time we gather around these microphones for the Girl Talk podcast.